lots of times.
He's a producer.
Hey, I'm looking for Mrs. Bubblegum. Yeah, you know I need the sweet love, cocoa butter kisses that I could only dream of. Making people want the love we have when they see us. I love ya, I want ya, girl, I really need ya. Is it real? Is it real? See, I don't want to question it. Is it real? Is it real? I think that's a definite. I thank God every day, cause yeah, she really heaven sent. See, God don't make mistakes. My baby's really evidence. Kisses on the cheek that I can't get enough of. You keep the smile on my face from sun up to sun up. I take you out on dates and I could buy you roses. See, I know this ain't perfection, but this really the closest. The fussing and the fighting isn't necessary. The Valentine's for us is not only in February. Anything you want, man, you can get it out of me. See, I just ask for loyalty, man. Show me that you down for me.
Yo. We are back. We are back once again. NBA pod today. Obviously, there's not too much going on in the NBA today or as of recently because NFL playoffs are around, and I think the NBA next month is in All-Star Weekend, so not too much to go over there, just some little stuff. But before we get into that, welcome back to the Bottle Central pod. We're here to talk about our usual sports, how we feel about them, our takes, and hey, just to get to know us better as we get to know our audience better. We also have audio that is available after every pod, usually on all the audio platforms, etc., etc. Feel free to check us out and give us whatever feedback it is on the websites. Check out all our socials for updates, especially with. Oh, wow,
sorry about it. I might be doing that. I might just be flashing.
Hey. Also, hopefully, we can find those pictures somewhere else.
Oh yeah,
digital wise, yeah.
You want me to be posting it? I get you. Yeah. Coming out the grass. That's what we about to
imagine
do.
We get sued. Did you get?
We're gonna get sued by Trav.
Did you get permission to show a picture of him?
This was shot on public land at the time. So
well, technically, wasn't
my First Amendment right?
A privately owned?
No, not in a publicly used space like outside. That's all free and dandy. Plus, he posed for this. He looks amazing. What can I say? I mean, if he wants to sue me. But sue me. I'll send out some good ones. I'm just saying, man. Squad pictures. Let's get it. Let's go.
So, hey, we're here to talk about some basketball. Just like I said, check out all our socials down below. TikTok for now, because 2 or 3 more days. We'll talk. We're going to start off the show with that, but also shout out on Instagram. We also have a gaming channel on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc., etc. And whatever new app will be popping to replace TikTok, will try to get on that. Try to be on ground zero for that.
What do we think? What do we think that is? Do we think they go back to Meta? Do we think it's like?
Actually, I do want to talk about Meta for a minute. That's how I want to start the show. But maybe it might be Red Note. But there's obviously a lot of translation going back and forth because it's the Chinese-owned app, and obviously it's in Mandarin, so language barrier there. Maybe it might be something that comes out of nowhere. Maybe Musically might come back. I have no clue. But
is Instagram technically Meta or no?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So I'm actually glad you brought that up, John. Just because the TikTok ban obviously it's going to come in about the 16th.
Yeah.
So 3 more days.
3 more days.
So the 19th. So the people who voted on the ban are obviously Congress, people that we vote in to help represent our voices in our states, correct?
You would assume that.
I would assume that. But you know what's funny? These people are also stockholders of what brand that is going against TikTok right now.
Could that be Meta?
Yes. If you look down the list of mostly everyone who said I want to ban TikTok, yes, they're also a stockholder in Meta. So obviously there's reasoning of why they would want to vote yes, so they can get Meta's competition out the way. So that's our government for y'all. They obviously have a stake of bias in picking yes to ban it, so Meta can make more money, so to fill their pockets, even though they're already wealthy and politicians. So,
well, Phil, that's where the conversation gets interesting, just because, yeah, I feel like in a way we definitely have, in a sense, established that TikTok probably won't be a thing. It might be postponed, it might not be, but it's crazy how Congress has come together, right, in a semi-short period of time, let's say half a year, to ban this app, right? And I mean, you could say it's for money interest. I would agree. But I just want to point out the obvious. What's next? Do you know what I mean? Like, I was talking to my dad about it last night. I was just like, Red Note, something that you mentioned earlier, is another app that's based out of China that is very similar to TikTok that a lot of people are jumping on. You have to have Congress approve that now. They only banned TikTok. They didn't ban Chinese-based apps. They banned TikTok. So it's like, we wasted a year for what? Like, no offense, Phil. I know this is a sports podcast, and I'm not trying to bring it to politics, but I'm just saying, if this was the Knicks, this would be my voice, Phil. I'm just saying, this is astounding how bad this is. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I don't know. Go ahead.
As we can consider ourselves as content creators, because sports podcasts, etc., and a lot of people has spent years on TikTok making money as a content creator. So technically, we shouldn't feel bad, or we shouldn't hesitate to talk about stuff like this, because obviously we didn't make it big on TikTok, obviously, because we started a little too late, but it's still a space for us, for our content, etc., etc. So,
Phil, we all have accounts, though. You know what I mean? We all participate in leaving a comment, or you know what I mean? That's almost the beauty of TikTok, is that you can either make a video or you can participate in the comment, and then you can see how many people disagree or agree with you. And it's something that I think we need, because short-term content in America it's not like we're jumping on Netflix, we're jumping on Hulu, we're jumping on YouTube, we're jumping on all these different fast-paced forms, but back in the day, you know what I mean? Anyone can get an enjoyment out of 10 seconds. You know what I mean? So it's annoying to not look at that science and to think, oh, because they're not an American-based company, they're spying on us. And maybe Congress does have some type of information that they don't want to show us for national security. But I just, for the majority of it, I don't get it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because sorry, I'm just saying, people, you can, as a company, if you work for the government, you can't download TikTok on your phone, right? No. They are publicly telling people not to do that. So what I'm saying is why is it our problem then? Why do you think, I don't know. That's just, I just don't see the mass conspiracy type of thing. But other than to take away free speech, personally, because if a whole group of people feel like they feel a certain way about something, it creates comfort. It creates a sense of security. And I mean, maybe that's what the government doesn't want. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong there. Yeah. But,
and plus, like I said about the content creation side, a lot of people, especially our guy, Waleed, aka Eighth, aka Zoa versus TikTok, he built a tremendous following on there. I believe 600, 500, 700K, almost to a milli. Mm-hmm. And now, just like content creators who spend years on there that has 1K, 1 mil, 2 mil, 3 mil, some of the most popular people, they spent their a good amount of time building up that following to have it taken away as a source of income as well. So
that was something that was never really addressed with I'm for capitalism. Yet, what are you going to do with all these different people that were making money on this app?
A lot of people have to start over. A lot of people had to segue into different apps, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube Shorts, etc., just so they basically have to start over if they haven't been on a separate platforms, to start on a completely new on a different platform.
And Phil, I think one of the real reasons why I'm getting annoyed by this is the money side. By killing TikTok, you're killing a form of income for people. So when they jump on Instagram, when they jump on Facebook, Meta, you know what I mean? You don't think Meta's going to lower their prices to what they pay people who perform? I think they are, because guess what? You're you're eliminating the avenues. You know what I mean? You're shortening it. You're making it. I don't know. I think that's a big mistake personally.
Yeah, because Meta owns Facebook, Instagram, and maybe Facebook. But I doubt it. Not Facebook though. But they don't own YouTube though. So there's like two avenues. There's a bunch of like different avenues. So unless something pops up, they're gonna have to, Meta's the only competition. I don't know what YouTube Shorts, YouTube classifies as. Maybe like their own separate avenue. But
I think they are. I think they're closer to, or they're connected with Google. So gotcha. It's like that's a company like. So it's Meta. But like realistically, there's 3 avenues right now. Twitter, which you could barely release video. You know what I mean? It's not great. Facebook, Instagram, which we just as a photographer, we just got through people streaming it like really like with all these shorts. You know what I mean? Like as a photography standpoint, I want to look at pictures on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like,
oh wow. And as we speak, the Meta's stock, according to Yahoo Finance, is minus 5.82 in the red right now.
Wow.
So yeah,
people are selling. Because honestly, no offense, I think America sees that in a way, Phil. You know what I mean?
Because they see the people who voted no or yes on the ban, they own stocks of it, so they want to make sure they don't get the money for banning their competition. So maybe that could be it as well.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, valid point.
Okay. So hey, that's enough chat about TikTok. Obviously, we'll probably maybe get one last update when the ban goes through, since it'll be our show next Tuesday. So the ban will probably be over and done with for now. We'll see what happens after that. But nonetheless, we're here to talk about some basketball. And first, hey, Shaq at a TNT halftime show, he said, "Where has Jamal Murray been?" Westbrook and Mr. Nikola Jokic have been showing off as teammates. A lot of people were questioning Jamal Murray losing his starting spot to Westbrook, actually. But then, as soon as that game halftime ended, 45 points on their, I don't know who they're facing, but on someone's head top. So, hey, I mean, he obviously didn't perform well in the Olympics because of injury.
Sure.
So maybe the first half of the season he was injured as well. So maybe we might be getting that Jamal Murray killer back that Denver's been most likely been missing so much.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think I would agree that in a way he's back. But I would also say maybe he didn't get enough time on Team USA because of the injury and also
Canada.
Because of the or Team Canada because of the roster
Canadian,
space.
yeah.
I know. But like he still had the like they had the second most NBA players.
Team Canada did have a lot of depth as well. I think it was
so like he was a starter. I think for the most part.
SGA, Dylan Brooks, and I forgot who the center was, but I think.
But he did split time with a lot of those bench players down the street just because he was injured. You know what I mean? Like they didn't want to overuse him. So like, I think partially like he's finally. I don't know how you say it, but like when the cast comes off and you feel good again. Like if you break your arm or your leg and they finally cut the cast off and you can like breathe. Like I feel like he's finally just breathing. You know what I mean? Maybe he's back, but like I don't know. I wouldn't say. Do you think this is a moment? Because Shaq talked crap and then he put 45 on him.
I mean, hey,
do you think it's a turning point in the season where the Nuggets could really start to go on a run here?
I mean, Jamal Murray is supposed to be their second best player behind Jokic.
Sure.
And you need him to show up that are outside of games minus LA, because apparently the thing is he only performed against LA, especially in the playoffs. But yeah, they need him. I mean, Jokic has won, and the Nuggets have only won one championship. People were expecting a dynasty after that championship, and they've fallen short ever since. And we know Jokic is going to ball out most of the time, but you need a supporting cast, and Jamal Murray is the next guy in line. So maybe it could be, but we got to see more. Westbrook has been the best guard for them as of right now. Jamal Murray's been struggling, but hopefully this is one of those games that get him back on track.
I hear that. And I mean, I think the real point here is if Jamal Murray can step up and Russ can continue to step up, you know what I mean? That team really could be scary no matter who's playing, who's sitting. You know what I mean? Like,
you got two triple-double monsters in Jokic and Westbrook.
And then you got Murray coming out of nowhere with like the threes and the assists. And you know what I mean? Like they could be really scary. If Michael Porter Jr. gets together, they could be really, really scary. You know, that's all I'm trying to say. Well. He has been struggling. So like, I'm just like, I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying like sometimes people go through rough patches and you can do that to a certain point, but you have to realize that sometimes there might not be a tomorrow. You know what I mean? And hopefully we see a couple more of those games like that. You know what I mean? Because I want them to have a good seed going into the playoffs. This Western Conference playoff thing is going to be packed.
Dangerous. Yeah.
It's going to be scary. You know what I mean? So, like, get it together now. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't, like, an insult. I'm just saying, like, Denver, get it together because you got Dallas. You got Minnesota who's starting off slow. You got, you know what I mean? Like, there's a bunch of teams that you could in all get. You know what I mean? And then you might not want. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Now, you can't draw LA first round every time.
I know. I mean, could you be that lucky? And I mean, I think there are a lot of people on a lot of teams that are struggling right now because it's a long season. We're not even halfway through it. You know what I mean? And it's did you hear Steph Curry's comment
about
like somebody asked him if he was like okay with like them struggling on like an okay team or whatever, and he's just like, if you think I'm okay being on an okay basketball team, then you don't. I don't know if you don't know me or so. I don't know. It was like a cool comment because like realistically, like the Warriors, they're fighting too. Do you know what I mean? There are a lot of teams fighting here, especially in the West. And I don't know. I there's a long season, but I think come All-Star break, it's gonna be tough. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I think this is where it gets good.
Yeah. And also speaking of Stephen Curry, a little random note to bring up. Him, Kevin Durant, LeBron James are doing like a mini thing for ESPN and then NBA, just talking about their generation and the next generation coming up. He said on Showing Love to the Next Generation or New Generation on, I think it's called Friends and Rivals, NBA OGs, something called that for All-Star Weekend. But he said, we're not going to be the bitter old heads. Him, LeBron, Katie, basically those guys in the 2010s, that's going to come back hating on the younger generation. We definitely have appreciation and admiration for what they're able to do too. So yeah, all those, 90s people.
All right. I do like them. I do like 90s people.
He's clearly talking about the 90s has that, today's game, yada, yada, yada. Oh,
they do. They did. But I mean, they had that in the 80s. They had that in the 70s. I mean, for example, it's kind of when the NBA realized dunking was cool. You know what I mean? It took off. You know what I mean? So, like, being nice to people, I hate to say it, but it's going to take off. Why? Because we love Kobe Bryant now. Kobe Bryant is a top 3 player in some people's eyes. In some people's eyes. I don't know about me, but like I'm just saying, in some people's eyes, he's a top 3 player. No, all right, I love Kobe Bryant. I'm just saying, like, it's just him after basketball almost was another championship. Do you know what I'm saying, Phil?
Right.
Like him mentoring other people, him mentoring other like female basketball players, like the impact he had on the game, him winning an Emmy, like it almost propels you in that conversation. It does. It's something else that other people don't have, especially Jordan. All right. And I mean, if LeBron keeps the door open, if LeBron keeps mentoring, I think, you win that conversation. You win out that debate of who's the best player. Like, I think stats have something to say about it and championships have something to say about it, but who you are as a person also has something to say about it. Michael Jordan was the greatest player ever because he didn't care about anybody else. You know what I mean? Right. And, like, I don't think you could ever say that about LeBron James. Like, he cared about what everybody thought in a way. Like, he had to listen to people in his hometown, the Cleveland Cavaliers, who was the worst team in the NBA, who picked first, talk about how they didn't want him. That's literally on tape. Did you see that? Bro, I can't sometimes. And, like, I think that's where LeBron gets a lot of heat because, like, he came up in the generation where he was the chosen one out of high school, straight to the NBA, straight to trying to make Cleveland win a championship. Cleveland hasn't won a championship since Jim Brown. You know what I mean? He did things that nobody has ever done.
LeBron.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about LeBron. That's what.
But football. Oh, gotcha.
That's what, you know what I mean? Like LeBron.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You know what I mean? With the media. Do you know what I mean? They hyped him up so much to create a goal that, like, is it possible? You know what I mean? And it took him, I don't want to say it took him forever. It took him a decent amount of time, but he learned, you know what I mean? And that's why I think his path at the end of the day, if he keeps on this, like, sharing the generations thing, it's going to make him better than Jordan, hands down, with, let's say, 75% of the viewers who watch basketball. He might get to 80. He might get to 80% of the people think LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan, hands down. If he's that nice, I'm just saying realistically. And this is someone who's like, I'm willing, like Like I want to see more from LeBron still. Like no offense, I'd like to see him win more in the playoffs. I don't know. I don't think his career is over yet. I would like not to hang him up on a shelf yet, even though he is over 40 and you know what I mean. It's just like I don't want to say goodbye. You know what I mean? So like I'm kind of in the denial stage. So like don't find this as like a rude, insulting thing. But I'm hoping his basketball story isn't over for a long time to come because he's done a lot for the NBA and he's done a lot for a lot of people and he put up the most points in the NBA. I mean, there's a lot you could say about LeBron, but what do you think? Do you think that the other path after basketball? Do you think that leads to anything in people's eyes? Like what I'm saying with Kobe?
It all depends. Depends on the path. It depends what you do. I mean, also going back to what Curry said as well. Yeah, like you said, it happens with every generation. The older generation is always going to have criticism or
Sure.
hate on the new generation just because they're used to things a certain way, and when it changes, they might not be able to adapt to it or be able to understand it as well as the current generation. So, and that's just with anything, older versus new generation, music, arts, sports, etc., etc. So, I mean,
and Phil, when somebody is eventually compared to LeBron James as the greatest player ever, people are gonna criticize that.
Wemby.
But Phil, you know what I mean? It could be Wemby. I'm just saying people are gonna criticize it. True. And so they better not make mistakes like Kevin Durant because people still don't forgive Kevin Durant for leaving OKC. People do not forget.
Yep. And also picking up mistakes and stuff that people do not forget. Wemby, I had a jersey swap with a young fan, I think a week or two ago.
I can't talk about
and that. I think the day after that, I think NBA Central or one of the parody accounts found out that jersey is now up for auction and is like at, let me see, it should be at 100K right now for auction.
It started at 10,000. I just want to put that out there. It started at 10,000 on the bidding.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find out the actual price right now, but yeah, I mean, the people. I mean, also, what's your thought on it, John? Do you think that was the right thing to do, or honestly, because those, like you said before we were recording, those ticket prices for NBA games, especially like front row, etc., close to the court, are expensive, but those moments can, especially with that jersey swap, can be even more priceless. So,
I'll give you that. This is what I feel about the situation before we get started. I don't want to insult anyone by what I'm about to say, but I'm about to say some insulting things. Like, I think they took that moment from him. From the moment the parents put that jersey on auction, they took that moment from their kid, and that money should go directly to their kid. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, they're literally taking his property, selling it online for a lot of money, and then realistically, before he's of sound in mind to tell, like, oh, I want to sell that. Oh, I don't want to sell that. You know what I mean? Like, they sell it. So it's
what if the parents said to the kid, hey, if we sell this, we can get you more toys?
Absolutely not. I mean, bro, he's not of sound body in mind. And even if he was like, okay, mom and dad, I want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I think the kid grows up and he regrets it a little bit. He'll have a picture to remember and he won't remember it because he was 3. So it is what it is, but
yeah,
it's sad to see. Realistically, it's really sad to see. I mean, go ahead.
There's I think 2 ways you can look at this. Obviously, Wemby didn't expect for his jersey to go on auction because I think he retweeted it like with the crying or laughing emoji, etc.
Crying, laughing emoji, yeah.
But at the other hand, if those tickets are expensive, and if you want to get your money back, that's one way to do it.
How many? But Phil, let me ask you this: how many other jersey swaps does Wemby ever do like that?
Shit.
Why would he? Because guess what? It devalues his name. It really does. Like, I don't mean to be like that, but there's one jersey on the market from Wemby, courtside. You know what I mean? With a picture. He's famous enough to call it like what a 7-foot trade or whatever you can call it. Because Wemby's 7 foot.
I mean, he probably done fan trade-offs before because he did do an event in I think New York City or somewhere that he was playing chess with them. He might have handed off a couple of jerseys there.
Sure, yeah. I mean, and that's fine. But like, what I'm saying is like,
But that was game 1 jersey, so yeah.
I'm just saying the kid's not even 5 years old yet. You know what I mean? Not even 10 years old yet. You know what I mean? Like, I have all my signed memorabilia. I'm just saying.
Also, with that memorabilia, hey, here's your college tuition. Boop, here you go. I'll pay for
it. If it's there, you know what I mean? There's
True.
no legal obligation for the parents to keep that money until he's in college.
True. Hey, but also we don't know exactly what they're going to do with the money for
That's
stay
facts.
as well.
They might invest it. It might go triple them out. You never know.
They could be selfish, or they could, since it was their son, they could say, "Hey, it's your money. We're going to invest it the proper way for you in your future." It could go both ways, but I do understand that obviously that's a big moment, and meeting of someone like Wemby, especially him in his early stages of his career, before this is not even his prime, and he's putting up numbers. Just
this
imagine,
is like what, year 2?
Yeah, year 2, and who knows how much that jersey would be cost halfway through his career, or
he'll probably go for $1 million at the end, right? If he's good enough, it probably will.
So yeah, it all depends on if you want money or do you want to build memories. That's basically the argument for the jersey case. But
Phil, do you have all your signed memorabilia, or do you sell stuff that you get signed?
I haven't received anything like huge to sell for, but I do have like memorabilia, like stuff that you've gave me, etc. Like the photos of Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, etc., etc. I have a Tom Brady bobblehead that Funko Pop that Lawrence gave me. So
nice.
I have plenty of stuff like that.
Nice. So,
yeah.
That's what's up. I mean, as sports fans, I feel like I don't know. We all collect a little bit of something. You know what I mean? And I feel bad for the kid a little bit. That's just
true. But if it's a player I hated, I am selling that shit immediately.
Kevin Durant, I hear you.
Hold.
Damn. No, I hear you, but like it's just I hear that.
Yeah.
At least it's better than burning it. People who burn their Saquon jerseys, bro, I still don't get it.
I don't get that. I don't get the whole burning of the jersey. You could just return it.
Yeah.
And it's basically money you paid for to buy a jersey. You're basically just burning an investment that you had. Same thing with
you could sell a jersey any day, anywhere for $10. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could.
Somebody will buy a jersey.
You could have just sold that shit. You can burning something you paid for.
Put it on eBay. It's unfortunate.
Right. You could have got money for that. You could have got maybe even more money than you paid for the original jersey. But who knows?
Facts.
Speaking of tough situations, the Minnesota Timberwolves, they got blown out by the Warriors the other night. What was the score? Yeah, they got blown out, but then they came back late. It was a slow start for them beginning of the game. They scored 12 points in the first quarter, and this has been a repeat thing for them, starting off slow. And is it more of a worry after this trade after sending Cat away? Maybe Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo hasn't been it because I think they've both been struggling, but I think Dante did have a good game. So
who's their head coach in Minnesota?
It is Chris Finch.
Might need to get fired sometime soon. Might need to be on the hot seat sometime soon. I'm just saying.
Wow.
If you can only score 12 points in the first quarter, what the are you doing coaching? Phil, you could coach better than that. You could be like, hey, go get me 10. All right. I'm just saying, like, I'm not trying to get less than 12 points in what do we talk? Less than 15 points in a quarter? Come on. I mean, I get it. I'm a Knicks fan. I've seen Julius Randle struggle, Phil. You know what I mean? I've seen Dante DiVincenzo struggle. So I get it. But don't blame it on them. But what is your game strategy? You know what I mean? Why is Ant not scoring more too, by the way? I just want to put that out there. He's scoring a lot, but how many?
It's only him. Yeah.
Yeah. And then some nights he has to just take off because he is tired, bro. Sometimes he is 12 points because he is tired.
He's averaging 25 points per game. And it's been a little bit of a drop from last year just because he doesn't have, another reliable scorer consistently to help him with the load.
Yeah. And I mean, that should be Julius Randle, but it's not getting done lately. So I don't know what you're asking of Julius Randle, but let's rework the coaching. I don't know. I don't know if we can blame it on always these players. You know what I mean? What do you think, Phil? Do you think I'm out of pocket for saying that?
Well, I mean, Chris Finch is a coach of the year. I think did he win coach of the year yesterday? He might have, but they do have a decent roster. It all depends how they do in the playoffs this year because this is the reason why they made the trade to try to get a better team to go to a deeper playoff run.
Sure. You had a 3-point threat like Dante DiVincenzo. You had a second option like Julius Randle. That's what you were thinking. But damn, I didn't know how much of an anchor Cat was. Maybe it's because he played in Minnesota, but geez,
Because Ant had to shoot way more threes this year with Cat missing because the other guys can't.
Yeah. Well, Julius Randle's not a 3-point shooter. And I mean, I
Yep.
guess Dante DiVincenzo is, but you're not giving him enough minutes.
Yeah, because he's throwing up at least. Hold on, let me check. He's throwing up at least 9 to double digits threes a game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he didn't do that last year when he had Cat. So he has to make up for the missing 3-point element from the team from last year. So we'll see how it turns out. Next up, a team that's going in the opposite direction, the Detroit Pistons.
This is crazy.
21 and 19.
Last year.
Yep, 22 or 19. I think they've been doing well. Cade Cunningham has been on a lot of people's radar. He has been having an amazing season. They're comparing him to fourth-year SGA as well. And hey, ever since they got rid of the coach that Johnny hated last year, they've been doing pretty good.
Jaden Ivey's injured right now, so that's the only thing holding them back right now. In my eyes, I don't know. They beat the Knicks. I'm just putting that out there. I mean, Jaden Durham's got a lot of rebounds. I mean,
he's been on and off too. They need a better play from him.
Yeah, well, they're playing Stewart more. You know what I mean? That's where it's like you're doing it to yourself. But I hear what you're saying. I just they're also playing Tobias Harris a lot of minutes too. 36 minutes, 11 points, 8 rebounds. That's it against the Knicks.
Yeah,
I don't like Tobias Harris, but they're working him in. You know what I mean? Him and Thompson doing pretty well together. But
so as of right now, they're 21 and 19. Cade Cunningham's averaging 24, 9, and 6. So 9 assists, 6 rebounds. He's shooting 46% from the field, 38% from 3, and he's doing pretty good. He has 7 triple doubles and 17 double doubles. Jordan Ivey injured now. I think they beat the Pacers because I think Hallie is injured. I think he's going through an injury yet again. So I think they also just won 6 straight, but then lost to the Cavs. So I think the Pistons do have the better team overall. So I think they definitely get the win. Okay. And like you said, Jaden Ivey pieces 17 points per game. Malik Beasley, who's been performing way better than his last 2 teams, 16 points per game. Tobias Harris, 13 and 6. Not, we don't expect a lot from him because we know who he is, but Tobias Harris, Jalen Duren, 9 and 9 as well. So hey, team effort and probably better coaching.
True.
So let's see what we got next. And the last thing we're going to talk about, the Suns. As you may know, we talked about the Heat last week. Jimmy Butler moving on, and it looks like they're probably making moves now to try to get more acquainted with Jimmy Butler going there, just because they added Hornets center Nick Richards to help with their big man depth. Because Nurkic and Mason Plumlee isn't cutting anymore, so expect maybe one of those guys to be on the move. Mostly Nurkic because he's been on the trade deadline rumor mill for a while. So, I mean, also, they probably will trade Bradley Beal for Jimmy Butler just to make the contracts work because they're both big contracts, and that's the only way you get it done. So, do you think they actually get a deal done for Jimmy Butler this year?
Probably not, realistically. And I don't know. Even if you do get a deal done for Jimmy Butler, do you think they make a run? And the answer is no, right? Because they don't have enough depth. They don't. And it's every single time they want to add another superstar, you have to take away more pieces. Or you're going to have to take away more draft capital. And Phoenix is, I don't know. I think you're right, Phil. I think you've been right almost from the start since Phoenix got formed. You should just have blown that up from I don't know. I don't believe in Phoenix. But
I said it a while ago.
Like you said it when CP3 was still there. I was like, God damn, Phil, we still early on this. And you were like, nah, it's over. I was like, oh, okay. But no, I hear you. I don't know. I think it could happen, but I doubt it happens. You're going to be giving Miami a lot if you're giving them Nurkic and Bradley Beal, right?
Yep.
So why is this not happening right away? Why is Miami not taking the trigger? Like, are they talking over about draft picks? Are they talking about
something price wise? Yeah.
Or you know what I mean? Like, do they want? Is Jimmy Butler trying to take people with him from Miami to Phoenix? Like, what is going on here? Like,
right. So I mean,
are they trying to get Bam too? How crazy would that be?
Yeah, because I think if Jimmy Butler leaves, I don't think the Heat should try to be as competitive anymore. Just because, obviously, I think what the Heat mistake was was I think they expected Jimmy Butler to lead this team when they're not fully developed yet. Tyler Hero was slowly developing. Bam Adebayo has been on and off this year. This team isn't ready to be a contender, and it doesn't match with Jimmy Butler's schedule because he's up there in age. He's like 34, 35.
Sure.
He can only be so productive for so long, and he wants to be on a win now team. And let's be honest, the Heat just hasn't been in a win now thing.
They need to go back to scouting, realistically. They need to scout a whole new team again.
They've had 2 magical runs at the NBA Finals, the bubble, and I think 2 years ago versus the Nuggets. But ever since then, it's been either barely making the playoffs or not making the playoffs. And they keep relying on undrafted free agents. And yeah, they got killed in both those NBA Finals matchups. It was very non-competitive. I think they only won 1 game out of each series. So, yeah, Pat Riley, the GM, I think this GM, has failed to put a competitive roster on them.
Wasn't the second one 2 games? Wasn't it 6?
It might have been 4-2.
4-2, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Against the Lakers, that was the bubble, because I know the Nuggets was 4-1.
Yeah, so maybe the bubble was 4-2. Maybe not. But, yeah, I mean, Jimmy Butler's time in Miami is over, and he's old, and now Pat Riley's calling him out because he's old.
Oh, yeah, it was 4-2. Yeah,
yeah. So I mean, they need to just break it up, and Miami needs to scout again. They need to just blow it completely. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, and also, last thing on Miami, do you think Jimmy Butler's jersey deserves to be retired?
It probably won't because he fought with Pat Riley, but yeah, he does. He does. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, because
you retired Wade, you retire Bosh, you retire LeBron, you retire
Shaq, I think.
Shaq, you retire Jimmy Butler. Why not?
Yeah, just because no one expected the Heat to, especially with Jimmy Butler, Bam, and Tyler Hero, to make the finals twice as a lower seed. So
I get it's not a banner in Kobe's eyes, but like realistically, it was 2 great runs. Like they were good runs. Like no one was expecting that.
If you can retire Giannis Hadlin's jersey, you can retire Jimmy Butler's jersey.
Yo, if Jimmy Butler beat the Lakers, it would have been the equivalent to, which you're gonna disagree with this, but it would have been the equivalent to the Mavs beating the Heat.
I was actually thinking that. So I
don't
disagree.
Okay, really? Okay,
yeah,
well, I mean, don't get me wrong. LeBron was way better on the Heat. I just want to put that out there. He was way better on the Heat.
But it's sort of like the same scenario. The Lakers were a massive favorite in that series, just like the Heat were versus the Mavs. And yeah, the Heat didn't have as much weapons against the bubble Lakers as the Mavs did against the Heat against LeBron.
And
so
I
yeah,
think
it would be the same scenario.
You know what I mean? Like Dallas had better matchups against the Heat, realistically.
True. So yeah, I think he deserves to get his jersey retired just because of two magical NBA Finals runs, not wins. But
I can't believe you agree with me on the compare. That's lit.
No, that's a good comparison. Just because, like I said, the Lakers and LeBron's Heat were both massive favorites.
Massive, and they were good. Those were good teams. Yeah. I mean, I get the bubble's the bubble, but I mean, LeBron James in a closed gym, bro. Like,
yeah.
That's scary.
And that was AD's probably best year as a Laker. One of his best years as a Laker. So this Lakers bubble roster is better than any Lakers roster past that year.
I'm so annoyed by that. I hate. That's why the Lakers GM deserves to get fired because
he deserves to get fired. Yeah. So,
oh my god, horrible, bro.
That was the best roster of the Lakers LeBron era, and they got rid of it for bullshit. So yeah. So, hey, I mean, like I said, not a lot going on in the NBA. It was a very, very short show today. Hey, Brightside, we got more stuff to do later on. So, hey, last words before we head out.
I got some last words for you, Phil. We're going to cover the Karl Anthony Towns wearing an Eagles sweatshirt or shirt or whatever on the sidelines in Philly.
Him and Brunson are big Eagles fans, apparently.
Bro, well, let me just.
How do you feel about that?
How do I feel about it? I'd like
Nova. Isn't Villanova in Philly?
No, it's not.
It's definitely not.
It's technically, first of all, it's in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And they hang their Raptors in Philly, but they're an hour outside Philly.
Okay.
So that's, I mean, a lot of people before Villanova was good would not claim Villanova as a Philly school. I just want to put that out there.
Okay. But secondly, it's a PA school. So.
It's a PA school. Don't and honestly, it could be.
But the Pittsburgh Steelers also play in PA, so yeah, other way. So yeah.
But like, all right. I'm like, I don't even know why this was a topic on First Take, and I would like to take Stephen A. I'm a little annoyed. He said this guy's averaging 25 and 15 or 25 and 13 or whatever, averaging a lot of points. I appreciate that. That's great.
He's been Nick's best player. Yeah.
He has been, and I love him. All right. And guess what? He is from New Jersey. So let's give Stephen A. little geography lesson. He's from Central New Jersey. Okay. Central New Jersey is in the middle. So he could be from either Philly, or he could vote for Philly or the Giants. You know what I mean? Or the Jets, right?
Yeah,
and I
we had an argument about Central Jersey a couple weeks ago.
Bro, and it's just like, it's annoying how some people say it exists and some people don't. All right. But like, all right. That's where I live too, by the way. I just want to put that out there. But like, the thing that annoys me is that Philly doesn't advertise that high, though. You know what I mean? Like they cut off basically almost by where I'm from, but where Karl Anthony Towns from is a little bit northern than me. So it's like, I don't know. What I rather him wear a 76ers jersey. Stephen A. Smith said, "Oh, would you rather him wear a 76ers jersey?" No, I wouldn't rather him wear a 76ers jersey. I'd rather him wear a Nets Dr. Dre jersey, Phil. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, like, troll the 76ers. Troll that whole controversial... Did you hear about the Chinatown thing?
No.
Oh, my... All right, so the 76ers wanted to build a new arena because they were third fiddle at the Comcast Center. So then they tried to move to downtown Philly at Chinatown, and then mad people protested, and then the Philly board said yes, and then they split a deal with the Comcast Center, so they're not moving. So they got a lot of people upset over nothing, all right? And that's why you troll Philly, all right? That's why you troll Philly, because
like last night.
It should be in Jersey. If you're going to build, it should be in Jersey, not Chinatown. First of all, I just want to put that out there.
You saw all the Knicks fans in Philly yesterday?
Yeah, because we own that city, but it is what it is, Phil. It is what it is. And by the way, when he gets booed in MSG, I don't want to hear it, Stephen A. Smith. All right? Why? Because he said contaminated, Phil. Contaminated. All right? Stephen A. Smith blows my mind because you know who contaminated the New York sports scene? James Dolan, all right? You know who hasn't been saying stuff about James Dolan? Stephen A. Smith. Why? Because he's a Knicks fan. Why? Because he doesn't want to get banned. Why? Because he ain't real like that.
A fair weather reporter, too. I think someone called him out on it. Monica McNutt, somebody. Like, you only cover the bigger teams, not the small market teams, et cetera, et cetera.
And he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't cover WNBA before Caitlin Clark. He doesn't cover all this other stuff. And it is what it is. Like, but don't say, like, infected. The Giants won 4 championships. All right. The Knicks haven't won since the 80s. All right. I don't mean to be like that. I'm a Knicks fan, but like, let's relax. All right. Let's not fucking add one to the tally, Phil. I'm so annoyed.
Oh, yeah.
He made me curse. He made me curse. I'm sorry. Dude, it's not even my fault. How do you say that? How do you say infected, bro? How do you say get over it, bro? Bro, are you a real Knicks fan? What are we talking about here? You don't want to know why? Because he's rooting for Saquon Barkley and the Eagles too. Phil, he's rooting for him against Detroit. He's rooting for him against Kansas City. He wants Saquon Barkley to win the Super Bowl. That's it. That's what I'm going to throw out there. I'm going to throw out there that I don't even know if he does, but that's what I'm assuming. And that's crazy talk to me. But all right, what did you think about it, Phil? Did you think I'm overreacting?
Honestly, I'm pretty sure a lot of sports players are fans of different teams outside of who they play for. Like
Tom Brady likes the Yankees.
Yeah, Jason Tatum is from St. Louis, so I wouldn't doubt he's a Cardinals fan for
he's
baseball.
A Blues fan. Yeah.
He's a Blues fan. So yeah. It's just because you're in that city doesn't mean you're loyal to the other teams that you play for.
But hear me out, Phil. Hear me out. Should we be surprised if we were to boo him, right? Should he be surprised?
I mean, New York hates Philly, so I mean, if you wear something Philly related, your New York fans are one of the most passionate fans. So it is.
Don't be surprised. That's all I'm saying. You want to be a Philly sports fan? Be a Philly sports fan. Move to Philadelphia. All right. Lose. I'll celebrate your loss once a year. All right. I can't wait, Phil. I already got the champagne ready for when the Eagles lose in the playoffs. I'm ready, Phil. Day of celebration. I love it.
Especially if the Rams do it.
Yeah, let them do it. Let them do it. Oh yeah.
Because me and John both expected a Lions-Eagles matchup, but if the Rams do it, it's going to be even worse.
It's going to be real good. It's going to be real good. It's going to be crazy. Imagine if Matthew Stafford goes to the Super Bowl, beating the Eagles and then the Detroit Lions.
Hey, picture perfect moment.
I'm just saying. I'm rooting for the Lions, but I'm just saying. Imagine.
Gotcha. For me, my last words.
We're last
Just a reminder: the podcast channel we're live on right now for YouTube, not on Twitch. Even though we are live on Twitch right now, we just hit 300 subs. It was our goal last year to hit it before the year ended, but hey, better late than never. I'm happy we were able to hit this goal, even though it's a little late, but I'm not complaining, obviously, because I'm happy that we hit this goal. So hey, shout out to everyone that showed support, everyone that showed love, anyone that hit the follow button, anyone that has notifications on, anyone that's ever gave us help in the past. So hey, next year, 400, 500 maybe, because it's going to be tough, especially with TikTok getting banned. How will we spread the word of us, of Baller Central, etc. So we're going to try YouTube Shorts still. We're going to try other avenues, Instagram, etc., Facebook, Twitter. So hey, and also if any new apps pop up, you'll probably see us there, because us being there on ground zero, head start, that's probably what a lot of creators are looking for, so they can get a jump on the new thing, because that's what the social media game is, making sure you're there when the iron is hot. So
true.
Hey, feel free to look us up on all our socials for any updates, where we move to, etc. Hopefully we're on Facebook again soon. That's another big goal, is just to get to 100 there.
We'll get there.
So we can live stream back on there for our elder audience. We're at 90 right now, so we're 10 away. So I mean, progress bit by bit. So hey,
I will get us 5 in the next 5 days. I will talk to 5 people.
Hey, also shout out Larry Wilson. He's also I saw him follow us on TikTok. So
really, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I got a notification. He followed us this morning. So I mean, hey, thank you for following before we get banned.
Hell yeah,
appreciate it.
Number 1 right there, Mr. Wilson. Hell yeah.
So, yeah, that's very appreciated. Cause I got a notification. Hey, you got a new follower. It said Larry Wilson, and I think his thing. So I appreciate it.
Oh, appreciate it. That's what's up.
Yeah, Larry Wilson 569.
Nice.
Appreciate it. So yeah, because I saw that he follows you as well, so I know that's the right one. So, and we're gonna follow you right now. So
yeah, okay.
So yeah, just make sure you stay tuned to everything, all our socials, what we do, etc. So hey, I'm just grateful that we're able to reach this goal and excited to reach our next goals going forward in the new year. So,
oh yeah, Phil.
And also shout out to the team as well. TJ, Elijah, Waleed, my boy John, in and out, weekly consistency. So shout out to you as well, sir.
Appreciate you. Shout out to you, dog. Keeping it rolling. Let's get it.
So hey, with that being said, next week we'll be back on Tuesday for the NFL show. Hey, will we see the Eagles choke against the Rams? Because we know the Eagles killed them last time. Maybe
Phil, you're hyping it up now. Bro.
Imagine they get smoked by them in the regular season, but then they win the playoff game.
It's gonna be real loud for the first 5 minutes.
Who will win between Lamar and Josh Allen? Can the Texans shut up Rex Ryan once again? Because I know how much John loves Rex Ryan. Also, can the Lions also stop the momentum of the Commanders rookie and Jaden Daniels? A lot of questions and more will be answered this upcoming Tuesday after the playoffs are done. And with that being said, this has been the NBA show. Thank you for tuning in for me and John. And enjoy music from our boy. I think we'll lead. I saw Elijah. We'll play with whoever won. And we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Deuces.
Bob, did you feel this way when you fell in love with Jean?
Oh, look. I felt that way lots of times.
He's a producer.
Hey, I'm looking for Mrs. Bubblegum. Yeah, you know I need the sweet love, cocoa butter kisses that I could only dream of. Making people want the love we have when they see us. I love ya, I want ya, girl, I really need ya. Is it real? Is it real? See, I don't wanna question it. Is it real? Is it real? I think that's a definite. I thank God every day, cause yeah, she really heaven sent. See, God don't make mistakes. My baby's really evidence. Kisses on the cheek that I can't get enough of. You keep the smile on my face from sun up to sun up. I take you out on dates and I could buy you roses. See, I know this ain't perfection, but this really the closest. The fussing and the fighting isn't necessary. The Valentine's for us is not only in February. anything you want, man, you can get it out of me. See, I just ask for loyalty, man, show me that you down for me.